Hi, my name is Zoe, and this is the Marshmallow Sheep Knitting Podcast. I'm so excited to get started with this. This is my first episode. I've never done this before, so I'm sorry in advance. But yeah, this is going to be where I'll talk about my knitting projects and yarny goodness things. I do a little bit of spinning, but not so much in the winter. So maybe a little bit of that later on. But I'm just so excited to get to know all of you and share what I have. So let's get started. I'm gonna do the traditional finished objects, and then whips, and then new things, like not always acquisitions, but just new things I think that I found. We just had Christmas a little bit ago, so I've got a lot of yarny goodness presents that I can't wait to talk about. And then I'll do a little bit of personal stuff at the end and let you get to know me. So that's the plan. Let's get into it. First up, for finished objects, obviously this is my first podcast, so I don't have like a backlog, but I decided to take my 3 favorite things that I've made recently and explain a little bit about them. And I have notes with pattern names and things, so I will put those in the description of the video, and if I can figure out how to edit this, I will put them in the video as well. Anyway, so first one up, I am so proud of this one. This is my most recent of these. This is the Honey Pie Cowl by Claire Slade, and it is so cozy. Oh my god, it's so cozy, you guys. I hope you can see it. It's got this really beautiful, that's upside down. Really beautiful, just, I guess, mirrored cables on it. And then they just wrap around the whole thing. And I've made it out of this super cuddly, I think it's called Tundra by the Fiber Co yarn. In this really beautiful cranberry red. And normally when I do cables and things like that, I want to have it be really crisp and everything, so you can see the detail, but just, it's so cozy, and it's fluffy and squishy and warm and lovely, and honestly the most intricate cables I've ever made, so I'm kind of really proud of them. I am relatively new at this. I've only been knitting since fall of 2019, which, I mean, isn't super recent now that it's 2022, but it's still new compared to a lot of people I know have been knitting since they were 6. I'll get into more of that later on in the episode, but I'm a little bit afraid of trying new things. I was stuck on Scarf Island for a good 6 months when I first learned how to knit, because I was afraid to learn how to purl. But so anytime I do get to something new or advanced, I'm always so proud of myself, because I'm like, yes, I did it. I did the thing. And I learned cables, and I love cables. Cables are so fun. Cables are so beautiful. I never cared about cables until I started learning how to do them, and now I'm a little bit obsessed. They're not on everything that I do, just because they are time-consuming. And I tend to be more heavily on the process side of knitting than the product side of knitting, so I like a lot of easy projects, but this was just really fun, and it knit up really quickly, 8 hours or so not too bad. And I'm just really proud of it. So yes, that is the Honey Pie Cowl by Claire Slade. I'll put that away. And then this one, speaking of firsts, this was technically my second completed beading project, but I count it as my first. This is the good old Hitchhiker Shawl by, oh my goodness, I forgot to write down her name. I'm sorry. Well, you know this one. If you do shawls, you know this one. I'll put her name down in the descriptions. I'm sorry. But it's the Hitchhiker. I've never really seen it done with beads before, but my wife, Kylie, who I'm going to be talking about a lot, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit obsessed with her. My wife, Kylie, she doesn't care a whole lot about knitting and things like that. I mean, she's got that it makes me happy, but she's not a knitter, we'll put it that way. So I always want to make her things, but she's very picky about textures and things like that, so she doesn't wear a lot of things tight around her neck. She doesn't wear hats. She's very particular about her sweaters. but I was like, oh, well, I can just make you this really beautiful shawl, which has these cool teeth on it. We call it her dragon shawl. I know it's the hitchhiker, but we call it her dragon shawl because it looks kind of like a green dragon's tail. And she looks so cute when she's all wound up in it. Sorry, almost dropping my notes here. So I'm really proud of the beading on this in particular, because this was the first time I ever did beads. I like put them all on the yarn beforehand, and it looked okay, but I didn't think it looked particularly good. And this go around, I learned how to use the crochet hook, and it's so much better. Oh my god, it's so much better. So I'm very proud of that. And I started off with like every time the row before a tooth was made, I put in just a row of beads. If you can see those. And then I very quickly ran out of beads. And so then I was like, okay, I'll get another vial of beads and I'll do it like every other stitch for those, right? And then I ran out of beads and then I swapped over to every third stitch and so on until at the end it's like every fifth or sixth. But this took 7 vials of beads. That was not my intent. When I bought the yarn for this project, it was up in this really cute little yarn shop called the Quilted Pearl up in Georgetown, Colorado. I'm from Colorado, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that. But so, super cute yarn shop. She has beads, and she does beautiful beaded shawls. The lady who runs it, they were just astonishing. And so I was like, I want to try to do a beaded shawl. So I got 2 vials of beads, because I'm like, okay, that should be more than enough. Because, I'm not going to go crazy with it. 5 vials after that, 7 in total, I came up with this thing. So I'm very proud of it. I still think it's very beautiful. I like how heavy and weighted this tip is with all the beads on it, because it kind of like just adds to the dragon illusion, Normally when Kylie wears it, she wears it like this, so you can see like the little tail dangling off. I'm just really proud of it. It took a while, but I think it was worth it. So that's my hitchhiker. And then, reorganize a little bit here. So my last FO to show all of you is my Tulip Sweater by Melody Hoffman. This is, God, how many sweaters have I made now? I think maybe the 3rd or 4th sweater I made? I don't know. I only got into garment knitting relatively recently, but I am still super proud of how this came out. So I made a cute little crop, if you can see that. And this really pretty purple. This is just like a basic Patton's 100% worsted weight, I believe, but I'm super, super glad with how this came out. I was absolutely terrified of these little scallops at the end, but I did it. They weren't that bad. I'm finding that out with a lot of knitting, is every time I work myself up, I'm like, oh god, it's so scary, it's gonna be complicated, it's not just stock it out, what am I gonna do? And then it's not that bad. Still took a good deal of concentration, but I figured it out. But no, I love this one. It's my first 100% wool sweater that I ever made. My first one was with some like fluffy acrylic stuff that I got from Joann's, I think. And it was cute. It just didn't hold its shape like at all, as acrylic is wont to do. But it was cheap, so that was good. But I don't know, I tend to be kind of bougie with my yarns, because I'm like, if I'm gonna be knitting with it and I'm gonna be spending multiple hours working on this project, I want to enjoy the whole process. And I don't like super plasticky textures. And I know you can get like really soft, nice acrylics and everything like that, and those are great, but they still, I guess I'm just spoiled. I'm a bit spoiled. They still feel plasticky to me. I am autistic, so maybe that's part of it. I can just like, the texture is just not the best. But anyway, so this is my Tulip Sweater. I super duper recommend this. It was written out really well. It was a super easy to follow pattern, which was nice. And it comes out really cute. Also, they're not quite like balloon sleeves, but I am kind of proud of my sleeve shape, how it comes down here and gets all gathered up. I don't know, I just always feel super cute when I'm wearing this. I did, the one thing that I had difficulty with this pattern was that she gives you the measurements or the yardage for, I think it's supposed to be done with like a DK and then a mohair together or something like that. You're supposed to hold two together. And so she gives you the yardage for that. And she's like, but you could also do it in a worsted if you wanted. So I'm like, great, I'll just do a worsted because holding two yarns together seems complicated and expensive. So I'll just do a worsted weight. And then she didn't give me the yardage for that. And so I'm sure there was a way I could have mathed that out, but I wasn't gonna do that because I'm lazy. So I just guesstimated and I bought 11 balls of yarn and I used 5 of them. So I've still got, I think, 6 balls of this stuff in my drawers back here. So maybe I can make another one, or I can make an entire other sweater out of that. I think because it was cropped too, I knew it was going to be cropped, but I was buying it based on like, well, what if I want to make it super long? You know, what if I want it to be a tunic length? I need to go extra. Also, I'm big. I need a lot of yarn. I didn't need that much yarn. So word to the wise, you don't need that much yarn for this project. It works just fine with a significantly smaller amount of balls of yarn, unless you just are smart and can figure out things accurately for yourself and don't need to follow my mistakes. But anyway, so Tulip Sweater, very cute, very snuggly, very happy with it. Those are all of my FOs for right now. Hopefully next time we talk, I will have more actual recent things to show you, assuming we do this again, because I don't know if I'm actually going to like it. I don't know, I want to do this so bad, but I am, well, I'm just going to come out and say it. I'm a bit of a coward. I don't like starting new things. I don't like doing scary things. And the things that I think are scary, most people probably wouldn't think are very scary, but, you know. So, but I think I'm going to be all right with this because I'm really excited about it. I would love to get more into the knitting community and, like, have a community around it. Because I do have my wonderful friends at my knit night, and they're delightful. But they're, you know, they're busy. They have their own lives. They're all, I mean, we all are adults, but like they're adults with like children and families and things, and I'm not. So I'm just like, I want to talk about yarn at 3 a.m, but I don't have anybody to talk about yarn at 3 a.m. with. So hopefully, if I get this YouTube thing going, I can like read comments and chat with people, and like it won't matter as much. Anyway, so on to bits, works in progress. I have 3. I used to be so monogamous. I'm like, I don't understand how anybody can have more than one project at once. It's so crazy. And now I have 3 projects, and I normally have about 3 projects going. If I have any more than that, I start just getting anxious and feeling like a bad knitter or a bad person or something because I'm not getting things done. So I try to limit it. But they're all in various states of completion. I'll start with this sweater first. I'm currently working on the 8 Days a Week by Mary Annarella. Super fun pattern in this really pretty kind of like eggplant purple yarn. And this is another knit for my lovely wife Kylie. I've got the sleeves split off, got one sleeve done, and then working on the second sleeve. And then this pattern actually has a cowl neck, so I'm going to do the cowl neck first, well, after I finish this sleeve, and then I'm going to complete the body, because Kylie really likes her sweaters to be long and tunic length, and I don't want to run out of yarn, even though I'm pretty sure I have more than enough yarn for this, just like the last sweater. But, you know, never hurts to be careful. Just to make sure I can go as long as I need to. This is a really interesting pattern, actually. Normally I do top-down raglans because they're super easy and you can try them on and it makes sense. Not a whole lot of cowl neck top-down raglans, and a cowl is required for Kylie to enjoy a sweater. So I found this one, and fascinatingly enough, this is a top-down set-in sleeve pattern, which I didn't even know was possible, but this lady, Marianarella, has figured it out, y'all, and she did a really fantastic job of it. I can't go into too much detail about it, but you can do this seamlessly. Like, there are no seams. I know you see a seam here. It's a lie. She's a liar. It's not a real seam. But, so that was really tricky, and I had to get some help from my friends at Night. Thank you, Danielle, to figure it out. But once we got past that part, it's been a complete breeze. I also love all these little, like, I wouldn't call them true cables because you don't involve a cable needle, but these really pretty little cables that go down the sleeves. They go all the way down to the bottom, and then there's going to be one on the cowl, and there's another one going to be on the ribbing at the bottom, which obviously I haven't got to yet to show you, but they're so cute. And again, there's no cable needle involved, so they go really quickly. Oh, excuse me. They go really quickly. I'm just really happy with them. I think they came out really neat and really kind of, whimsical isn't the right word, but like, you know, dainty. You know, they're very dainty. So that's nice. This yarn has a bit of a story to it. This is my second time trying to make a sweater out of this yarn. My first time was when I learned that I hate bottom-up sweaters. Can't stand it. Can't do it. Don't want to do it ever again. I am absolutely atrocious at sewing. So most bottom-up sweaters you have to split for the sleeves and then join them and come back up and then build the sleeves off of that. My problem, I did super good coming up the body. It had beautiful, like, not the twisty kind of cables, but the kind of V-shaped cables coming up. And super duper lovely. I was so excited about it. And then I split for the sleeves. I'm like, okay, getting into dangerous territory now. Gotta be careful. And I guess when I was trying to measure them, I was accidentally stretching the tops and the bottoms. So by the time I joined for the sleeves, and then I made the sleeves and I tried to join the sleeves onto that, the holes were way small and the actual sleeves were way big. And I'm like, it has taken me like 8 months to get to this point because I keep chickening out and I completely messed it up. So I ripped the whole thing back and I said, nope, not going to do that again. I tried it once. Maybe I'll try it again in the future, but not currently. So put it away. I put the yarn in timeout for quite a while. And then I started trying to look for a better pattern that is top down but still has cables. And I found this one. Surprising lack of top-down cable patterns. I don't know what it is. I don't understand why it is almost a requirement to go bottom-up for cables. Maybe it has something to do with the increases or something like that, but like if you're going on a raglan, you don't increase down the middle, you increase on the sides, so you should have plenty of room in this front panel. I don't know, I'm not a knitwear designer, I couldn't tell you. If anybody does know, please tell me, because it's kind of frustrating, because I love cables and I hate bottom-up sweaters. But anyway, but this one's going a lot better. This one's going a lot better. I'm very happy with it. I am sticking with it, and then hopefully by the next few weeks, I will have actually been able to present my wife with a sweater that she doesn't hate and that she can actually wear. But yeah, I'm really excited. So this one's going well. I've still got a bunch of yarn left though. I'm just keeping it in. I know sometimes people like to look at project bags, but I don't really have a lot of cute project bags. I've just got this, like, sack. But yeah, it works. It's big enough for a sweater that'll fit me, so that's alright. Next thing, excuse me, this one actually isn't a cute project bag. I have this little bunny bag that I got from an anime convention once. Super sweet. I love it a lot. But anyway, so this is my blanket project, which is not currently on any needles. This is the 4-color log cabin baby blanket by Haley Waxberg. All of these are on Ravelry, by the way. I should probably have said that. They're all on Ravelry, so easy to find. But, ta-da! I'll take better pictures when I figure out how to edit this. But yeah, I really like this a lot. I tried to make a blanket once upon a time, but it was getting just too big and my needles were breaking and it was stressing me out. So I don't even know where that is. It's somewhere. But I thought I'd try again with a log cabin blanket because those don't start off with a bunch of rows. You know, the first half of it is rather manageable. It's just kind of gnarly at the end. So this one went a lot better. I just love the pattern of it. It looks so kind of geometric. And I love the yarn. So story with this, my wife and I got married October of 2019. We were very lucky to miss the pandemic. But our wedding colors were kind of plum and navy with green, like emerald green as an accent, and we got married in a barn because we're those people. And then I was just scrolling through Facebook one day and I saw this yarn set advertised, which was all of these colors. And I'm like, well, this looked like a plum on the website. It's clearly a burgundy, but it looked like a plum on the website. I'm like, oh my God, it's our wedding colors plus the barn. I have to get it. So I got it. And it's super, like, nice, just regular old superwash. Actually, I have another pack of it because I loved it so much. Grab that. But, sorry for the crinkles. Yeah, super nice. I believe it's from Bad Shape Yarn. I think they're up in Alaska. Oh yeah, dyed in North Pole, Alaska, right there. And it's 100% superwash merino, worsted weight. It's super snuggly. Super duper snuggly. I'll mess with that later. But my current plan with it is, so this is about the ends of the original 4-pack I had. And it's not big enough for me. I know it said a baby blanket, but like, a girl can dream that it could be a real blanket one day. So I bought another pack, and I'm gonna keep going on it until it is, I've used up all 8 skeins of it. And I think it'll be my work blanket, because it's really like super nice and snuggly, but it folds up small, because it's just garter stitch, so you know, it's nothing crazy. But yeah, I'm really happy with that. It is on hiatus for a bit now, because I got a little bit overwhelmed with gift knits and everything for Christmas. I didn't even do that many of them, but you know, I still... Knitters got a gift knit, I guess. Anyway, so it's on hiatus for now, but hopefully I will pick that back up again shortly. And then, I'm really excited about this one. I have decided to learn how to do stranded color work. It has been a decision that has been in the works for like a year now. I've been trying to get up the stones to actually do it. Just because, I mean, like, again, I said, I'm a big coward, I'm a scaredy cat when it comes to knitting new things. I'm like, oh, it's complicated. I have to hold 2 strands of yarn, and what if it looks bad, and what if my floats are bad, and everything's bad? The actual process isn't that difficult, as I'm sure those of you who do this know. But I have been a little frustrated with the chart. I'm going out of order. I haven't even told you what this pattern is yet. This is the Benon Headband by Hazel Tyndall on Ravelry. This is about how much of it I have currently. So it's going to be butterflies. Butterflies, snowflakes kind of thing. I'll put a picture up for you. But it's a super pretty pattern. And the chart is super easy. It's like 20 rows across and 15 stitches wide, and then you just do a bit more ribbing. So I'm like, oh, that's fine. I can do that. I have already miscounted my chart like 3 times. So I don't even know what's going to come out at the end of this, but I am not trying to rip it back because it is sticky. I'm using Jamieson and Smith jumper weight yarn for this because I know you're supposed to use like super sheepy wool, and like the colors are great. I think honestly I might have picked them too similar because I know you can. I mean, it's showing up a lot better on the camera than what it was looking like beforehand, because like in real life they kind of blend together a little bit, but I still like the colors a lot, so that's good. I like a sheepy kind of wool. I do have a lot of superwash, but I also do like a good non-superwash. I don't mind the I once heard somebody call it the crisp texture of non-superwash wools, because it's interesting. They're not too prickly for me. I mean, some of them can be, but you just wash it and it should be fine. But yeah, I am really proud of myself for how well this is going. Even though I've been messing up a lot, I'm just calling it a learning experience. This is my first ever colorwork project. It's not gonna be good. It doesn't have to be good. I just have to do it, right? That's what they're always trying to tell you, at least. So, I think it'll be interesting. And I do actually I figured out a good way to hold my yarn. I know, like, people who do it with one strand in one hand, one strand in the other, and they knit like English and Continental at the same time. That's too much for me. I throw English, I can't do anything else. But I figured out a way to hold them both kind of separate so I can switch which one I'm throwing. Like this, basically. It's working out fine. I might try to figure out the double-handed thing in the future if I like it, but that's okay. For now, it's working. I just have to pay more attention to my chart. I don't know why it's giving me so much trouble. It's like, and I think I'm doing fine. I don't know. I think what the problem was last night I kept getting interrupted by things, so I would lose my place. This yarn kept breaking for some god-awful reason. It has broken on me 3 times. And I'm like, it's not spun super tightly, so I think that might be part of the problem. But it's still, like, I don't think it should be breaking much of this. Maybe I just got a dud, or maybe that's just a common known thing. The green one's fine. But yeah, so I kept breaking this, and I had to like go back and rip back some stitches to try to get tink back some stitches to try to like get back to a place where I could actually have a tail to weave in, and every time I did that I lost my place, so I think I just have to be more careful. But yeah, that is my current 3rd whip. Hopefully I'll finish that this weekend. It's not big, it's just a headband. Yeah, so that's those guys. And then I want to show you what I got for Christmas, basically. I hope nobody thinks I'm like bragging. I know some people don't like acquisitions because they're like, if they don't have the yarn, it just feels kind of rude. I never feel that way, so I'm gonna put it in because I like seeing other people's yarn stashes. But if you don't want to watch it, that's okay. You can skip ahead or you can check out. And thanks for coming to see me. But we're gonna talk about Christmas presents because I got a lot of good stuff. So first, I mentioned before that I'm a spinner. I am very new to spinning. I started with a drop spindle late last year. No, hold on, we're in a new year now. Late 2020. I really liked the drop spindle. I was getting really good at it, and I got to the point like, yeah, I seem to have like really gotten the hang of the drop spindle. I'll try an electronic spinning wheel. Because I don't like treadling and I've got a bad leg, so I can't, paddle too much. But electronic spinning wheel does it all for you. And then I was immediately thrown back to square one because they are completely different crafts. Which I guess I didn't realize, but they really, really are. It's totally different. So, but still, I do most of my spinning in the summer, warmer months when I don't want to have a sweater on my lap. So I haven't done it in a while, but for Christmas, my Yarn Secret Santa got me this, and I'm very excited. Just in case the camera's switching it around, it's called The Spinner's Book of Yarn Designs, Techniques for Creating 80 Yarns by Sarah Anderson. First of all, it's a gorgeous, book. The outside of the book is very pretty. And then second of all, it is packed full with, how to do cable yarns, how to do fractals, how to put beads in your yarn as you're going, how to get, fluffy textures like this. Gorgeous. Super duper gorgeous. And I can't wait to get more experience with it and, actually start spinning and trying to use some of the techniques on it. I'm so excited. It's so pretty. This is now my 2nd yarn-related book. I have Strands of Joy as well, but again, because I was overly ambitious. I was wanting to get into stranded color work way before I was actually brave enough to try it. But, you know, we're giving it a try now. So hopefully once I figure out this headband thing, I can dive right into Strands of Joy and start making all sorts of fun sweaters. So there's that, Yarn Spinner's book. Then also for Christmas, my mom, who knows, bless her heart, she knows nothing at all about any kind of yarn. She went to my local yarn store in Aurora and just said, do you have kits that come with a pattern and yarn? And they said, yes, we do. And so she got me 3 of them. First that she got is this super pretty kit of, I think it's a merino, cotton, and silk and linen blend. There's everything you could put in a yarn in here. And it's super soft, and I love the color scheme on it with this pretty yellow and this blue. So she got me that, and then the pattern that came with it is for a really pretty cowl. I can't show it to you because I don't think it's a free pattern, but a really pretty cowl that the Fiber Co. is going with the In the Flow, a 4-color cowl. You can see that. But I'm really excited to get to knitting that in a little bit because that'll be really nice too, since it's cotton and linen and silk. It won't be super warm, so it'll be a good fall piece, I think. So I'm excited about that. And then she got me these mercerized self-striping cotton skeins to make a market bag out of. I lost the pattern for the market bag, but I'm sure I can find it again somewhere in here. But yeah, this really pretty like copper and green colorway. I'm not normally a fan of mercerized cotton for knitting with because it's a weird texture. I use it for like a waist yarn, but I have always wanted to try to learn to make a market bag, which I'm pretty sure you either have to crochet them, which I don't know how to do, or you have to use lace, which I'm not good at, but I'm gonna try it. I will work my way up to trying it, and I will have a very nice market bag at the end of it. These are Unique Cotton by Earth Yarns, URTH. Oh, I think I didn't tell you. These guys here are Luma Threads of Sunlight by the Fiber Co. That's their Luma base. And then the coolest thing, in my opinion, that she found for me this beautiful kind of like teal, a dark tealy blue, kind of sort of like this dress, but not really. And this is called Rewa Fibers Embrace is the yarn base, and it is 100% Tibetan yak down. Where do you find stuff like this? I mean, really? And it's so soft. It's like, it feels like an alpaca wool blend in a way. Like, it doesn't have the, I mean, it is pretty dang drapey, but it's not as drapey as an alpaca has been in my experience. But it's super duper soft, and it feels like it'll be so snuggly. And she got me this cute cabled hand warmers pattern to go with it. Fingerless gloves, I guess I should say. But yeah, so super stoked to get to play around with that. I think I'm going to save it for a little bit till I find just like something amazing to make with it, because it's only the one skein and I want to do it good, you know? So those are the things I got for Christmas. And then recently I went to my local yarn shop actually yesterday, because again, with the whole colorwork stuff, I want to learn to do a colorwork hat. Colorwork hats tend to need DPNs at the end. I've never used DPNs. I'm afraid of DPNs. This is a common theme. I'm afraid of a lot of knitting. I got DPNs. They are just US 3.25 millimeter Hayas, 8-inch. So hopefully that's right. I don't know. I figure like the whole point of DPNs is you can make them as small as you want, so I don't think the needles need to be smaller. I got those for future hat dreams. And then I found this gorgeous, gorgeous skein of like this dark red with a little bit of black on the tips. You can kind of see that close up. Super nice. This is the Euphoria Knits colorway A Rose by Another Name, and it's on their Frenzy sock base. So it's 85-15 sock. And I'm gonna make Kylie another checker shawl out of it. She really likes those, but yeah, it's such a beautiful color. And I saw this skein knitted up in the store, and it was, oh my gosh, like in this, with when you get like tonals and things like that, you can kind of see the stripes. You couldn't see them at all in the shawl pattern that I saw, at least. It just looked so rich and beautiful and deep, like just like rubies and garnets. Stunning, adorable. I loved it. I wanted to do more with it, so I got it. I'm very excited. And then, I honestly don't know if I should show this, because it's not going to stay mine, but I just think it's really cool, so I'm going to show you anyway. My friend is a crocheter and a sewer, and she's been learning knitting. She really likes lace, and she really likes a lot of lace shawl patterns, and I know crochet does lace really easily, but she always also likes a challenge. So she's been learning how to do lace knitting. She's really into super lightweight yarns, and she's really into silk, and she's really into golds, because she's even bougier than I am. She really likes gold. So we were exploring, and I found this gorgeous, 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 gorgeous skein of 100% silk lace weight yarn by Lost City Knits. I think it's their Lost City Silk, and it's 1,000 yards per skein, so I think that's pretty good. It was expensive though. It was really expensive, so I only got her the one, but I love her, so I got her some anyway. And it's super duper soft. I've never had a 100% silk yarn before, and I like it. I don't think enough to buy more of it anytime soon, just because I don't need silk. I like wool. I like wool a lot, but it's still so pretty. Even if she never makes anything out of it, I think just having this will be a real treat. It's gorgeous. And I first got it in, I opened the package up in the evening, and we had our kitchen lights on, and they're kind of warm lights, and it just was, oh, it looked gorgeous in like the warm low lights, how it just looks more, everything looks more snuggly in lighting like that. But yeah, so I can't wait to see what she does with this. It's very exciting. So that's all my stuff. That's all of my acquisitions and finished objects and whips. So now I figured I'd tell you a little bit more about me, so we can get to know each other. So yeah, like I said, my name is Zoe. I live in Colorado. I was born in Maryland, raised in Colorado. I live with my wife and our cat, and my parents. During the pandemic, we were living in Iowa, and we decided, well, I decided if I was going to die of a terrible, terrible disease, I did not want to die in Iowa, so I dragged her home, and we're in Colorado now. But things are really expensive out here in Colorado, so we're still sticking around with my folks for now. But they've got a big house, so we've got a big craft room, so it's okay. But yeah, a few things about me that just, I think, inform the general stuff you're going to be seeing on this podcast. I mentioned it already, but I am autistic, so texture is super duper important to me. I'm going to be talking about texture a lot. Knitting borders on being a special interest for me, if you know anything about autism, but I was absolutely, you could not tear me away from it when I first got into it. I remember I had a day off once, and I knit an entire scarf in a day. I sat on my couch for 9 hours, and I knit a scarf. And that's kind of how I am when I get excited about something. So, I love knitting. I love wool. I love fiber. I just love soft, fluffy things. And rough, scratchy, fluffy things. If it's fluffy, I like it, is basically my jam. Hence, Marshmallow sheep. My friends, well, my friend actually that I got the silk for, she always calls me her Marshmallow, and I love sheep, and marshmallow sheep are super cute as imagery, so that's what we're going with. Um, but yeah, so I'm autistic. I am married to a woman. I am bisexual. So I don't know of a lot of queer knitters. I know they're out there, obviously, but it's not super common, so I figured that'd be a fun niche to explore. Um, I'm autistic, I'm bisexual. I am fat, so that's also a difficulty with knitting. I've seen so many beautiful, beautiful, beautiful sweater patterns that I would love to have and will never fit me ever. So that's kind of sad, but I have a lot of friends and family who are skinnier than me, so maybe I can make them for them and just look at them longingly. um, but yeah, so I don't know. I wanted to get into knitting podcasting because I watch a lot of knitting podcasts. They're one of my favorite things to do. But they are, I tend to see a lot of the same perspectives, and they're not bad perspectives. There aren't a lot of people that I've seen who look like me, have a similar background to me, have similar experience as me. And I figured, well, if I'm wanting that and lacking that, then there's probably other people who are too, right? So maybe I could give that a try, see if I could fill that niche, be the thing that I want to see in the world. If people out there who are watching this know of like other autistic knitters and other queer knitters, please tell me. I want to watch their podcasts very badly. But I'm trying to bring that kind of experience into the conversation. Because, first of all, who would be mad about having another knitting podcast to watch? We love knitting podcasts here. That's why we're here. But also just like, I want to be able to share a different perspective to the craft we love so much. I'm excited to try to do that. Yeah. I don't know, there's probably more to say, but this is also the first episode. I don't want it to be too crazy long. So I think we're at like 42 minutes of recording. I'm gonna have to edit this, oh no. I also don't know how to edit, so that's another learning thing I'm doing. I'm learning so much recently. But anyway, so I think I'm gonna call it there. Thank you so much for anybody who actually stuck around and watched this. I really appreciate it. I hope to be doing more of these. Please, I don't want to sound like a YouTuber, but please leave me comments. I want to talk to you guys. I am really, really excited to get to know everybody, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. So thanks for stopping by.